It's 8 a.m., 45 degrees. It got cold last night. I was still comfortable. If I had the blanket on top of my sleeping bag, I would have been cruising, but probably right on the edge of what that sleeping bag's okay with it in the open. So I'm gonna take a slow morning, get something to eat, and then I'm gonna let the sun come up a little more and dry me out, and go do some gold mining. I'm ready. It's been like 3 days. I haven't even touched the panda water yet. All right, let's do it. I'm all packed up. Had a nice morning. I'm gonna run and grab a quick bite to eat from a gas station, and then I wanna go see the Museum of Northwest Colorado in Craig. They have like a big gunslinger exhibit, which is cool, but I heard they have some stuff on the gold mining that happened in this area, including like actual samples of gold that was taken out of a placer mine around here, so it'd be kind of cool to see what we're gonna be looking for. It is. It's an old state armory building, which is cool. It's some good company. Look at that, some little pickers in that top one. This is a very cool museum. It's the largest watercolor in the world, apparently. I've been panning and messing around for, I don't know, about an hour or so. Kind of show you what I got and run you through it so you can see, just like last time. Got some different gear this time, trying out. So I got a little test hole dug. I think I kind of figured out where we're doing. So you can see kind of there's some roots here. There's all grass up in here. All those roots just have a bunch of trapped black sand in them. So I'm guessing it goes all the way along the edge of here. And it's about 8 inches deep. So scraping off 8 inches and going for that level seems like it's the best. I went deeper than that and it didn't really get much better. So I'm gonna go for that. You guys ought to see the cutest little teeny tiny sluice box you've ever seen in your whole life. You'll see what this is for, but basically it uses the running water to help separate the gold from dirt. So that's so small and so tiny, it won't do well with big rocks. You know, anything bigger than this won't work in that sluice box, and it can't run very much at a time. Got to use a spoon to feed it. And panning, you can go through a lot more material, but the last 20% of panning is really hard to do. You get all the black sand trying to get the black sand separated from the gold. So the solution I came up with is I pan 80%, dump it into an extra pan, and then sluice that last 20% once I've got maybe 5 or 10 pans ran. So I'll show you what it looks like. It's hard work and it's hot outside. But I've been getting some gold, so I'll run maybe 5 or 10 pans, and then we'll pan down the black sand, and I'll show you what it looks like. Whew. There it is. One pan. Whew. take it over to my spot, pan it out. So now we ran all our gravel through this big screen into the pan. It was mostly full of sand. And I just panned it down, like I said, 80% of the way. And you can see how dark that, so compared to the tailings, those are wet, but there's a lot of black sand in there, which is magnetite and hematite, basically iron oxides that are also heavy. So you know you're doing a good job panning if you see a lot of black sand. So I got this second pan, some more water in it. I can keep spilling it. Transfer all that dirt in there. And that's one pan. Let's get 9 more and then we'll run the sluice. All right, there it is. 10 pans worth of concentrate. Just see how big the hole got. I filled it in a little bit so I could sit in it while I was shoveling, but that streak didn't go so much that way, but you can kind of see the gray and back in the corner there continuing up, I think that way. So I'm gonna take my adorable little sluice box and just go right up there where there's some fast moving water and get it set up, and I can show you. It's a good thing it's time to sluice because my panning muscles are tired. Ugh. Now you see it just takes a teensy tiny amount of water. Look at how big that thing is compared to my spoon. So I'm just taking spoonfuls of this. Let's see how it's running. Yeah, pretty good. So you can see how that pile of stuff in there, maybe not, it's hard. I bet you there's a lot of compression with the GoPro and it's not showing up well with all the water. But that material all kind of dances, that's what they say. It's like fluttering around in the turbulence caused by the riffles in the sluice box. And that action lets the heaviest, the densest bits sink to the bottom, and those densest bits happen to be gold. So as we go, those riffles are kind of pale colored, but they'll get darker and darker as we go because everything but the black sand and the gold is getting carried out. This is my favorite part of gold mining. Placer mining. All right, I'm gonna keep feeding. Just gonna take probably a long time to get that all fed through there, but when we're done with that, we'll dump the sluice box out into a pan, and it'll only be a couple tablespoons of material to pan out. So, I'm going for it. Here we go. I'm 3/4 of the way through, and do you see that? Oh, it's gonna be hard. In that first riffle, there's a big yellow spot right there. And it kind of looks like there's a fair amount in those first couple riffles when they clear out. You see that yellow band right on that second riffle? That looks not half bad, honestly. I think next time I'm gonna pan the concentrates just a little bit more. This was kind of a lot to feed with a spoon. See how nice that's cleaning out of there though? It piles up with stuff and then it slowly over the course of 5 seconds works its way, cleans out. You see that green appearing and it works its way down farther and farther, and all the lightest rock dumps out the back. All right, I'm gonna run the last of this and then I'll pull the sluice box out of the river and we can take a look at it before I wash it out and see if we can see any gold as a sneak peek. So I can already see a piece right there in the center screen. I'm gonna take a little picture of it. Just a tiny fleck. But let's wash some of this down and see what's popping. Some more water in there. Okay. is. I'm gonna have to wash it all the way out. The gold is safely in a snuffer. That's this thing used to collect the gold. I took a photo with my phone. I don't think you're gonna be able to see anything on the GoPro. It's not very much, very fine. Which was to be expected, talking to the people at the museum and reading about it. Moffat County, which is where we are, whew, has very fine gold. So, I might go try some other spots around here, but honestly, I'm kind of getting the itch to ride again. So, I think I'm gonna go eat lunch, see what I'm feeling like doing afterwards. We should go someplace with chunky gold, something that looks good for the camera. That's you. So, I got wet boots and pants that are wet up to my knees. So I think for a while I'm gonna drink the rest of my water and sit here and dry my stuff out, fill in my hole, pack the stuff up, and then it's time to go. So the things I learned from the museum that I didn't know before, apparently Moffat County has very high silver content in their gold, so the gold is not as bright yellow. And I went and talked to a prospector at the museum, and he was saying that there's just not a lot around here. There's not a lot of gold in Moffat County. But, you know, the reason I came out here is because I wanted to see the Northwest, and it is gorgeous. But time to start thinking about the next move. I'm gonna go get some food, figure it out. I've decided we're heading towards Leadville for mining, and because it's gorgeous down there. I want to try some new spots out, and gonna be fun. But it's getting late in the day and we got a long ways to go, so I'm shooting for a halfway point to camp. We gotta make some tracks. Isn't this spectacular? This is a gorgeous ride. I think it was called the 20-mile road, County Road 27. Going south from, well, look at it on a map. Well, the search for a campsite was long and drawn out, as you can tell, because it is full-on nighttime. I barely lucked into the last spot at a BLM, I think it's a BLM campsite, public campsite. It costs $10, which is pretty good. The only downside is it is very close to the highway, so it's going to be loud tonight. But the stars are going to be spectacular. I'm trying to decide if I have the... I'd like to have a fire, but I don't know if I have the energy to do it. I am wiped out after all that gold mining, and man, must have rode a long way. Rode from Craig to Gypsum, Colorado, through Walcott. Had to be like 150 miles or something, maybe 100 miles. Well, I'm basically all cleaned up. It's about 9:30, I think, and I'm about ready to go to bed. See my little setup. Just sleeping left tonight. Got my sleeping bag laid out in the bike position to block the morning sun so I can sleep in. I'll tell you what, I was a little disappointed in this campsite because it's so loud, and I was very stressed about finding a campsite. Rode longer than I wanted to, later than I wanted to. But the stars are so spectacular. You gotta appreciate the good things. And the stars are awesome. It's gonna be nice sleeping out and watching. It's supposed to be very clear tonight, but pretty cold. I think maybe like 42 or something like that. So I got my earplugs and my blindfold, so I'll be all right. All right, I'm going to bed. I will see you in the morning.